Good day, everyone. For today's discussion, we will be discussing about the fifth lesson, the second lesson for this midterm. We will be discussing women, development, and the world. So this presentation it explores the role of women in development, examining how they are marginalized and excluded, especially from traditional development discourse. And we will delve rather into the impact of the dominant economic system on women and explore alternative approaches that centers women agency and well-being. And also, we'll be at the end of this lesson, I will explain kung paano dapat kasama ang women in terms of definition and the realization of the development. And aside from that, we will be discussing about claiming, no, women claiming their space by sharing their learning insights. And take note, women empowerment is a very important aspect or discussion. Especially, it talks about how women are affected by the development and how they can be agents of change. Like, bakit nga ba madalas sila na-overshadow in terms of economic and political discussions when in reality, they play a big role in shaping our communities. That's why part of our discussion we will explore how the current economic system impacts women and why they are often excluded, not always, but often excluded from decision making and how they can lead changes in development. Before anything else, let's discuss muna what is growth and development. No? Growth and development, especially, it creates a major impact in our lives. When we see growth, no? Kung gaano ka-produce or consume at earned ang isang bansa. And the growth rather, no? It measures, it measured ito gamit ang GNP or at saka GDP. No, GNP means gross national product. GDP stands for gross domestic product. So kapag mataas ang GDP at GNP, ibig sabihin yan, mas maraming economic activity, pero it has consequences. Tumaas ang GDP, okay, more income. Pero dahil dito, mas marami ang nagkukonsume ng resources, kaya naubos yung essential resources like water, mga basic necessities. Aside from that, may mga global warming din na naging cause ng water shortage at pollution. Now, in this situation also, no, the marginalization in the development discourse, there are two. First, exclusion of women from decision making, and the second one is focus on economic growth. Now, alam niyo ba na madalas hindi kasali ang mga babae sa major policy making processes? Like in government and big corporations, men dominate leadership roles. The problem, no? Women issues like equal pay, maternity leave, and protection against workplace harassment are often also overlooked. But good thing, no, because you already have batas for that, no? Equal pay and treatment for women. Sa una, wala na. Maternity leave. Oh. Sa una, wala po na. And protection against harassment, workplace harassment. In terms of focusing on economic growth, most development models focus only on money and profit instead of social well-being and environmental sustainability. Sadly, women suffer the most when the economy crashes, or especially when one of the industries fail to provide fair wages and working conditions. Now, example of gender inequality in leadership. In many government agencies and companies, I think women hold less than 30% leadership positions. This means that policies are often created without considering the perspective of women, leading to less inclusive solution for gender-related problems. If more women are in leadership roles, mas magkakaroon tayo ng gender sensitivity policy like better maternity benefits, workplace safety laws, and wage equality. Pero since dominated ng men ang decision making, minsan hindi na-address ang needs ng mga babae. Another example, the wage gap in workforce. Did you know na may mga industries that women earn 20 to 30% less than men for doing the same job? Like, imagine two people working on the same 9 to 5 or 8 hours a day. Pero yung lalaki, mas mataas yung sweldo kaysa sa babae kahit pareho naman silang hardworking. This happened because of the systematic bias. Because some companies, they assume that men are more competent or simply that women will leave work once they have kids. If development truly wants to be inclusive, then equal pay and job security should be a priority, and it has no gender. There are three things that we need to take note no about women as an agent of change. First is refining development. Women can and should be part of defining what true development looks like instead of focusing just on economic growth. Women also can bring ideas about social justice, environmental sustainability, and community empowerment. For holistic approach, development shouldn't just about money and profit. It should also consider cultural values and environmental impact as well as gender equality. Another, empowerment through agency. That truly empower women, they need to have a control over their own initiatives, not just a beneficiaries of government programs. Now, let me give you an example. Women in a community leadership. Sa maraming rural areas, women can lead community programs, especially focusing on healthcare, education, and sustainability or sustainable farming. Pero hindi sila nabibigyan ng sapat na pondo or recognition. Imagine if binigyan sila ng sapat na pondo or recognition or mas maraming funding and resources ang women-led initiatives, mas mas ma-widen pa nila ang access to education, healthcare, and livelihood programs, making development more inclusive and sustainable. Another example, female entrepreneurs promoting sustainability. In our generation right now, there are a lot of women entrepreneurs ang nagtukod og eco-friendly business like sustainable fashion, organic farming, zero waste products. Pero take note, sometimes nahihirapan silang makuha ng investors and business loans. One of the factor is that they are women. If mas maraming support ang women entrepreneurs, they can build businesses that not only create jobs, but also promoting sustainable and ethical practices and disprove that women are not just part of the development. No? They are there. Drive it forward. The dominant economic system and women, we have this one double burden. Ibig sabihin yan, women juggle full-time jobs and unpaid domestic labor. Like, take note, no? After an 8-hour shift of duty, pag uli sa balay, sila gihapoy nagabantay sa bata. Sila gihapoy nagaluto. Sila gihapoy nagalimpyo. Yan. Di ba? That's the reality. Take note, existing gihapon na siya ang situation. Another, exploitation of labor. Many women work in low-paying industries like in garment factories, caregiving, and domestic work where they receive also less protection and benefits. Another dominant economic system on women, we have here, tama ito, Western male values. The economic system is built on competition and individualism. And that is, I mean, sometimes it neglects values like community, caregiving, and collaboration, especially valuing that many women uphold to that. Examples: factory workers in sweatshops. In many developing countries, like in US, UK, or basta, developing countries, women work in sweatshops, no? Especially they work na may long hours, low pay, and unsafe condition. To tell you, these women are the backbone of industries like this is fashion, pero wala silang benefits like paid leave or healthcare. There are companies na nga na, no? If we truly value them, no, the development of women, then there must be, no, a fair na pasweldo, at the same time better labor rights for women. Another thing, domestic work and caregiving industry. Di ba? Kung mapansin ninyo, kasagaran mga abroad, di ba? Mga babae, ilang work dito as caregiver, as domestic helper, di ba? Napansin niyo na? There are lots of women who work abroad or even in our country, Philippines, no? They are working as housekeepers, caregivers, sometimes babies, not sometimes, but also babysitters. Pero take note, baba gyapon sila sweldo and sometimes walang benefits. But again, karon murag due to the ano no, nagka-improve na na mga sila mga receive the benefits. So these jobs are essential for society kasi of course, no, this caregiving and domestic work, no, wala mag-aalaga sa mga bata or sa mga tiguang. At the same time, no, mawala na ka ng tigluto sa balay, tiglimpyo. Pero hindi sila nabibigyan ng dignified pay and legal protection. That's why women's labor should be recognized and properly compensated. Another thing that we need to consider is how women and related to agriculture and the values of development. In an industrial farming where large corporations control farming, focusing on profit rather than sustainability. Ang monoculture, instead of planting diverse crops, companies push for single crop farming that harms biodiversity. Aside from that, corporate control. No? Big businesses control food prices, kaya ang small farmers struggle to compete. Di pa siya makaya, kay lahi man yung mga corporate control, basta na yung mga dagkong tao nga na-involve. Example, women farmers and sustainable agriculture. Women farmers is just a traditional farming method, especially promoting biodiversity and soil health, pero wala sa ilahan, no? Wala sa ilahan ni isa na may access sa financial support. Dahil mga countries nga na. Example, if government invest in women-led farming projects, we can have eco-friendly at the same time food-secure communities. Another example, impact of monoculture on women farmers. No, when large companies try to adapt a single crop farming, nawawala ang ibang varieties ng mga plants, no, na sinusuportahan ng women farmers. Take note, this makes them more dependent or on expensive commercial seeds, reducing their profits and making them vulnerable to climate change. Supporting women in agriculture is the same with more sustainable food system. Next, women as keepers of biodiversity. Kabalo ba mo na women play a major role in preserving biodiversity? Like, while big corporation focusing on mass production and profit, however, many women are actually at the front lines of sustainable farming, environmental conservation, and food security. Unlike sa industrial, like dito, which promotes monoculture, women farmers tend to use traditional or eco-friendly farming methods, supporting biodiversity and long-term sustainability. First is traditional practices. Take note that women have been practicing sustainable farming and ecological preservation for generations. Kasi they ensure that natural resources are not overexploited. Nalay magpataka. Healthier food. Women's farming methods often do not rely on harmful pesticides or chemicals, making their produce healthier and more nutritious compared to mass product food. Next is essential role. Without women's contribution, many plant species and farming traditions would disappear, especially affecting food security and ecosystem balance. Now, women farmers preserving indigenous crops. That's an example, no? Especially itong women farmers in India. In India, maraming women-led farming cooperatives na nagtatanim ng ano tawag dyan? Mga traditional crop varieties, mga traditional food gihapon. But these women preserve crops like millet, sorghum, and traditional rice variety na hindi lang climate resilient pero mas nutritious pa, no, compared sa mga commercial one. Kung puro commercial ang crops lang na itatanim, sometimes no, we are dependent, maging dependent tayo sa ating, especially sa GMO, no? Mag-rely na lang mo sa mga GMO products. Since women farmers preserve indigenous varieties, may alternative food source and communities kapag may climate change or climate crisis or food shortage. Take note that these traditional crops require less water and pesticides, kaya mas sustainable sila in the long run kasi dili mo sila kalas. Here, women and development in new perspective. Take note, based on my discussion before, that traditional development framework mostly ignore women's perspective. Like in economic policies, they are designed by men. They're not for women, and they're just expected to adjust and cope. That's the role before. But of course, iba na ngayon. Women have unique experiences and skills that actually make them key players in sustainable and inclusive development. Now, first, women culture and development. This approach recognizes that women should be at the center of development, not just passive recipients or aid economic programs, but instead of forcing women to adopt a male-dominated system, then the women culture and development values women contribution to culture, community, and economic sustainability. Next is transforming realities. Hindi sapat na isama lang ang women sa existing structures. We need to change, no? Dapat baguhin ang sistema mismo para i-consider ang kanilang needs at contribution. Another example is women and community leadership. Humana naman eh. Another example is women's role in disaster resilience. Yan. Studies show that women are often first responder in disasters. They ensures food, water, our safety, no? But in terms of decision-making policies, sila yung hindi na gina-consult, no? Sometimes mga lalaki ang ginahanap kung magpa-consult. If women are given active roles in disaster management program, I think maging efficient ang response and more lives can be saved. Next, the need for a pro-women perspective. First, intervention. But before that, no, the problem with current economic system is that it treats nature as commodity and women's labor. First, intervention. Our economy, uh, ano sa tawag na kanang sa word extract, no? Our economy extract resources from nature without considering long-term effects. However, these resources are proposed and sold. They are often at the expense of marginalized groups like women. Next, the cycle continues, leading to environmental destruction and economic inequality. That's consumption. Example number one, women in fashion industry. Yung sinabi ko kanina, there are a lot of women who work in sweatshops. They work long hours but low wages. So some companies, they sell cheap trendy clothes. Another, women and environmental protection. So when women farmers often practice sustainable agriculture, pero nauubusan sila ng resources nila dahil large scale corporate farming man. So of course, if government support women-led eco-friendly farming, food security would improve without harming the environment. Yan. Now let me present to you this hierarchy of women's knowledge for sustainable growth. First, no, women have valuable knowledge when it comes to environmental preservation, community building, and economic sorry, community building and economic sustainability. So instead of excluding women from decision making, dapat na sila platform to lead or role to lead. First, women are often at the front lines of forest conservation, sustainable development, and climate change action. Sila yung nangunguna. Women foster collaboration over competition, making them great community leaders. And lastly, women invest in their families and communities, making economic growth more inclusive. Example number one, what if na women in reforestation projects? No? In some country in Africa, merong green belt movement doon na led by women where they plant millions of trees to fight deforestation. So when women are included in environmental policies, they can create a sustainable solution, especially when ensuring that the future, no, the future generation can benefit. Another, women in microfinance. No, many microfinance program lend money to women entrepreneurs because they are more likely to invest in their children's education and local business. By supporting women financially, all communities benefit from economic growth. Lastly, no, what can we do to empower women development? Of course, recognizing women's contribution is not enough. We have to actively support and uplift them in development efforts. First and foremost, we need to sa man support, no? Support women in leadership. So, yan. Bahalag magbaliktad lang mo og pagkaon dira ang inyong giluto. That's one way of supporting women in leadership. More female leaders means more inclusive and effective policies. Aside from that, push for equal pay and fair labor rights. Women deserve fair compensation and safe working conditions, just like men. Invest in women's education and business. So when women thrive, families and communities thrive too. Now, there are more women in STEM fields area. In many countries, girls are discouraged to pursue STEM, no? Science, technology, and marine engineering. STEM careers. Wala palang marine. Engineering and mathematics, STEM career. For those who enter STEM fields contribute to the major innovations. So, if we provide more scholarship and mentorship for women, we can see more breakthroughs in science and technology. Pulling ko da. Hmm, pulling ko da. Next, another example is creating a gender inclusive urban planning. Cities are often designed without considering women's safety and needs. If women urban planners are involved, I think we can feel our safety or safety and self-efficient at the same time inclusive ang city designs. Take note that women are not just participants, no? They are future sustainable development leaders. Now, to conclude, if women are given equal opportunities, they can lead. They can lead change in politics, business, and technology. And of course, environmental sustainability. Now, let us work forward where future women are not just included but they are empowered to lead. And that's all for our discussion this evening.